A watch is the only piece of jewelry a man can wear without ever having to explain himself. The right one says money, taste, and patience before you've said a single word. The wrong one just says you were in a hurry. So out of every luxury brand competing for space on a man's wrist, which ones actually deserve to be there? That's what this list settles. 7 watches, each one making a completely different argument for what the best means for a man who could have anything. One built on understated credibility, one built on obsessive engineering most guys will never notice, one built on scarcity so extreme it borders on absurd. We're counting down, and by the time we land on number 1, I think you'll be surprised, because it's probably not the watch already sitting in your head right now. Here's a fact to kick things off. The most expensive watch ever sold at auction wasn't a Rolex, and it wasn't a Richard Mille. It hammered for $31.19 million. That brand made this list, and it's not where you'd expect. Let's get into it. The watchmaker's secret weapon. Number 7 is Jaeger-LeCoultre, and specifically the Reverso. The story starts on a polo field in India in the winter of 1930. A group of British Army officers kept cracking the glass on their wristwatches mid-match, and one of them dared a Swiss businessman named César Detray to fix it. Detray brought in Jacques-David Lecoultre for the movement, and a French engineer, René-Alfred Chauveau, to design the case. Chauveau filed the patent on March 4, 1931, for a watch that could slide in its housing and flip completely over on itself. That flip protected the crystal mid-match, and it also happened to create one of the most striking silhouettes in the history of design. Nearly a century later, that rectangular Art Deco case has barely changed. Put a Reverso from the 1930s next to one from this year, and the family resemblance is instant. Here's the detail most people don't know. For decades, Jaeger-LeCoultre wasn't just building its own watches, it was quietly supplying movements to everyone else. Its caliber 920 powered the original steel sports watches from Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, and Audemars Piguet, 3 brands that spent the rest of the century acting like they never needed help from anyone. That's how JLC earned the nickname the watchmaker's watchmaker. Serious collectors know exactly what that means. Everyone else usually doesn't. That's kind of the point. This is the pick for the connoisseur who doesn't need the logo doing the talking, the guy who'd rather own the brand that other watchmakers respect than the brand that shows up in every airport ad. That kind of understated credibility only gets you so far, though. Our next pick trades subtlety for pure obsessive engineering, and it comes from a country most people don't associate with luxury watches at all. Germany's quiet obsession. Number 6 is a Lange Söhne, and the watch that put it back on the map, the Lange one. This one has a genuine comeback story behind it. Ferdinand Adolf Lange founded the company in Glashütte, Germany in 1845, building a reputation for precision that rivaled anything coming out of Switzerland. Then World War II tore through Europe. The Soviets seized the factory in 1948, and the Lange name vanished behind the Iron Curtain for over 40 years. Walter Lange, the founder's great-grandson, never let it go. The moment the Berlin Wall fell, he moved. On December 7, 1990, exactly 145 years to the day after his great-grandfather started the company, Walter re-registered a Lange Söhne and started rebuilding from nothing. 4 years later, in 1994, he unveiled the brand's first modern collection, and the standout piece was the Lange 1. The Lange 1's dial looks unlike anything else in watchmaking. Off-center, asymmetrical, with a big date window that dominates the layout. That design wasn't random. It was inspired by a 19th-century clock hanging above the stage at the Semperoper, Dresden's opera house, built by the same watchmaker who trained Ferdinand Adolf Lange himself. Walter reached back through his own family's history to design the watch that would relaunch it. What separates Lange from almost every other brand on this list is what's happening under the dial. Lange builds its own hairsprings in-house, a level of vertical integration only a handful of manufacturers on Earth can claim. Every movement gets hand-finished and assembled twice before it's allowed to leave the building. Once to check the fit, then completely disassembled, decorated, and rebuilt from scratch. And then there's the balance cock. It's engraved entirely by hand, freehand, by a small team of master engravers working with a burin. No stencils, no templates, which means, technically, no two Lange watches that have ever left the factory are exactly identical. This is the watch for the engineering purist, the guy who wants German obsession over Swiss brand recognition, and who'd rather own the piece other watchmakers quietly study than the one everyone recognizes on sight. Since we're already this deep into details most guys never notice, if that's the kind of thing that gets you, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It genuinely helps this channel keep making videos like this one. Now back to the list. The oldest name in the room. Number 5 is Vacheron Constantin. And if you want to talk pedigree, this is where the conversation starts and ends. Jean-Marc Vacheron opened his workshop in Geneva in 1755. That's 150 years before Rolex existed and 84 years before Patek Philippe was even founded. Vacheron Constantin is the oldest watch manufacturer on Earth that has never once stopped producing, through revolutions, depressions, and the quartz crisis that wiped out half the Swiss watch industry in the 1970s. In 1770, just 15 years into the company's existence, Vacheron built what's widely considered the first complicated watch ever made, a piece that did more than simply tell time. That single decision, to chase complexity for its own sake, set the course for the next 250 years of the company. It's still chasing it. In 2015, after 8 years of work for a single private client, Vacheron completed reference 57260. It packs 57 complications into one watch, and it currently holds the record as the most complicated timepiece ever built by human hands. Here's what separates Vacheron from Rolex, and honestly, even from Patek Philippe. It never chased scale. While other manufacturers figured out how to produce watches in the tens of thousands, Vacheron deliberately stayed small, protecting the craft instead of growing the brand. That's why, among people who actually study this stuff, Vacheron gets ranked right alongside its more famous rivals, sometimes even ahead of them. Not because the other watches are worse, because Vacheron never once compromised to get bigger. This is the pick for the true collector, the man who doesn't need mainstream recognition, because the recognition that matters to him comes from other people who know exactly what they're looking at. Now we're moving from old-world prestige into something louder, something that took a steel watch, priced it above gold, and dared the entire industry to laugh. The steel that broke the rules. Number 4 is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, and this is the watch that invented an entire category. In 1971, the head of Audemars Piguet called designer Gerald Genta the night before a major watch fair and asked for a steel sports watch unlike anything ever made. He needed the sketch by morning. Genta drew it overnight. What he came back with was an octagonal bezel held on by 8 visible hexagonal screws, an integrated bracelet flowing straight out of the case, and a textured tapissier dial. The popular story is that the design was based on the portholes of old British warships. The real story, according to Genta's own widow, is simpler and stranger. He'd watched a deep-sea diver on the shore of Lake Geneva, and the way that diver's brass helmet was bolted onto his suit stuck with him. When the Royal Oak launched in April 1972, It was priced at roughly 4 times what the previous most expensive steel watch on the market had cost, and more than a comparable gold dress watch. People inside the industry thought Audemars Piguet had lost its mind. One former AP executive later recalled overhearing competitors predicting the company would be bankrupt within 6 months. It didn't happen. AP sold nearly 500 pieces in the first year alone, and the Royal Oak became the template every luxury sports watch since has been chasing. The ambition kept climbing from there. In 1997, AP released the Royal Oak Grande Complication, stacking a minute repeater, a split-seconds chronograph, and a perpetual calendar into that same steel silhouette. Fully open-worked examples today can easily sell north of $500,000. This is the pick for the man who wants to be recognized on sight, not by insiders parsing caliber numbers, but by anyone in the room. It's a status symbol first and a technical achievement second, and it's never apologized for either one. If instant recognition is what you're after, though, there's one name that beats even the Royal Oak. It's the watch that nearly everyone on the planet can identify. The name everyone already knows. Number 3 is Rolex, and I'm grouping the Daytona and the flagship Oyster Perpetual pieces together here because the brand itself is really the point. Rolex carries a strange kind of prestige. Ask a serious collector which brand is technically the most impressive, and Rolex usually isn't the first answer. But ask a random person on the street, anywhere in the world, which luxury watch brand they recognize, and it's almost always the first name out of their mouth. That's not an accident. It's the product of a century of relentless, disciplined brand building. And in 2026, the brand proved it's still operating at the top of its game. This year marks 100 years since Rolex patented the Oyster case, the first truly waterproof wristwatch case in history, and Rolex marked the anniversary hard. At Watches and Wonders in Geneva, they unveiled a new Cosmograph Daytona built in what they call Rolesium, a combination of oyster steel and platinum paired with a white Grand Feu enamel dial. For the first time ever on a steel Daytona, it also has a sapphire caseback, so you can actually watch the movement run. Alongside it came a Centennial Oyster Perpetual, nicknamed Oyster 100, with the words 100 years printed at 6 o'clock, in place of the usual Swiss made, and the number 100 engraved right into the winding crown. Rolex isn't necessarily the brand connoisseurs rank at the top by technical standards, but it's the brand that turns heads in a boardroom, at a wedding, or across a dinner table without a single word of explanation needed. For most buyers, that kind of universal, no-context required prestige beats insider prestige every time. This is the pick for the man who wants a watch that signals success to anyone, anywhere, on sight. But if universal recognition isn't the goal, and what you actually want is the opposite, a watch almost nobody else will ever own, we're about to go somewhere completely different.
The watch built like a race car. Number 2 is Richard Mille, the newest name on this list by roughly 2.5 centuries, and also the most extreme. Richard Mille sold off his stake in a company he'd already built, poured 3 years and everything he had into a single idea, and in 2001 launched his own brand. His first watch, the RM001 Tourbillon, listed for around $135,000, roughly double the price of the next most expensive tourbillon on the market at the time. Mille himself said later he thought he might sell a few dozen. He was wrong. Reports on exactly how many were built vary, with some accounts putting the earliest run as low as 17 pieces. But whatever the true number, it sold out almost immediately. That scarcity turned into serious money decades later. In November 2022, Christie's auctioned off the actual RM001 that Richard Mille wore himself, movement number 001, the real prototype behind the entire brand. It sold for just over $2 million. What makes Richard Mille genuinely different from every other watch on this list is the materials. Instead of gold and steel, Richard Mille builds cases out of aerospace-grade titanium alloys and carbon composites, the kind of engineering you'd expect to find in a Formula One chassis, not on someone's wrist. That's not a coincidence. The brand has built its identity around global athletes and cultural figures. Rafael Nadal has played entire tennis matches wearing one. Formula One drivers race in them. Pharrell Williams has become one of the brand's most visible collectors. Richard Mille doesn't chase old-world heritage. It chases modern, physical extremity. This is the pick for the man who already has the heritage brands covered and wants something that looks and feels like nothing else in the room. Scarcity, shock value, and engineering flash over 3 centuries of tradition. Which brings us to number 1. The reveal I promised you at the very beginning, and I meant it when I said it's probably not the watch you're expecting.
The watch at the top of the pyramid. Number 1 is Patek Philippe. Not Rolex, which almost everyone guesses first because it's the name they know best. Not Richard Mille, the flashiest, most expensive feeling option on this entire list. Patek Philippe, the brand that even the other 2 members of the Holy Trinity, Audemars Piguet and Vacheron Constantin, still get measured against. Here's why. Remember that $31.19 million auction record from the very start of this video? That was the Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime, reference 6300A010, a one-of-a-kind piece made entirely in stainless steel for the 2019 Only Watch charity auction, benefiting research into Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It carries 20 separate complications, including a chime function never before built into a wristwatch, and it sold for nearly double the previous world record, set just 2 years earlier by Paul Newman's own Rolex Daytona. And Patek doesn't just hold the top spot, it holds second place too. Back in 2014, a Patek Philippe pocket watch called the Henry Graves Super Complication, originally completed in 1933 after 8 years of work, sold at Sotheby's for $24 million. 2 different watches from 2 different eras, both wearing the same maker's name, both sitting at the very top of everything ever sold at auction. That's not luck. That's what happens when a brand spends nearly 2 centuries treating every single watch as if it has to justify its own existence 100 years from now. Patek Philippe's own advertising has said it for decades. You never actually own a Patek, you just take care of it for the next generation. So if you actually had unlimited money and you had to make one single choice for the rest of your life, Patek Philippe is the answer that gives you all 3 things at once: maximum craftsmanship, maximum prestige, and when it eventually changes hands, maximum value retained. It's not the loudest name on this list, it's just the one that every man who's actually done his homework eventually circles back to. Here's the real question, and I actually want to know the answer. If you had to pick just one of these 7 to wear for the rest of your life, which one would it be? Not the one you'd buy to impress somebody else, the one you'd actually choose to live with every single day for decades. And if this is the kind of watch talk you want more of, subscribe now because there's another one of these breakdowns coming, and you don't want to miss it.